Hello everyone, welcome back to The Media Couple. I'm Rory.
And I'm Sophie.
Where we break down the latest in film, TV and entertainment from an insider's perspective.
Yes, on this week's episode, we are talking all things reality. We're going to be talking about the new celebrity Traitors that is going to be coming out in October. We are also going to be talking about the Real Housewives of London. We've watched it. It's great. We've got a lot of things to say about it. And we are talking about that Love Island ID magazine spread. I mean, how could you miss it?
Yeah.
At the end, we've got a Rotten Tomatoes game, which is all reality themed or kind of themed, reality vibes themed. So we'll see if Rory can, get 1 out of 8 correct.
I've had 2 out of 8 the last few weeks, so I'm on a roll.
Exactly. Stick around to the end and you will find out. But anyways, to kick us off, Rory, do you want to dive head first into celebrity Traitors?
I absolutely do. I'm a huge fan of just the regular Traitors. So now we've got the celebrities in the mix. I'm pretty excited for what's to come. So apparently it's going to come out sometime in October time. Now, some of the cast include Stephen Fry, Alan Carr, Jonathan Ross, Paloma Faith, Tom Daley, and many more. Now, each celebrity on this series is paid a flat fee of 40...
A fat fee as well, though.
A fat fee, yeah. Well, like for just appearing on the show, yeah, it's a fat fee, okay? Each celebrity on this show is paid a flat fee of £40,000. And the winner, the winning prize is $100,000 and it gets donated to a charity of the celebrity's choice.
Oh, nice. I'm actually really want to talk about this lineup.
Okay, fine.
Because this lineup is going to be great. And I think it's going to be really interesting to watch because we all know these people, right? Whereas you look at the normal Traitors show, we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
We don't know their, backgrounds, their personalities. They lie half the time.
Of course,
about who they are.
Yeah.
Let's talk about season 2 and, mum and son.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Exactly. Or maybe, whatever the season that was. Either way.
Yeah.
We know these people.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
They're on our screen. So we have an idea of what their personalities are like and what they're going to be like. So when they come into the celebrity Traitors house, it's going to be, I think, a question of who matches up more closely with the celebrity, personality that we know them as on the outside and who they are on the inside of the house. Because I think if you've got somebody like Stephen Fry, who comes across as quite, not that he is going to not be himself, but my point is his external view to the world as a celebrity is quite educated, quite eloquent, quite smart.
Yeah.
Now, if he goes into the game and he's quite, brash and out there and, let's go.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, why are you lying?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing?
Yeah, because they all know each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've all got...
they know of each other.
Exactly.
Which I think is a new and added sort of element to this game that I think is going to make it really interesting and fun to watch as a viewer, but also really quite mind-bendy if you were in it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who Claudia will pick as her initial Traitors. She goes round the table and she puts her hand on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm curious out of that lineup. There's 19 of them in total. I'm just curious to see who she would pick. Because I feel like if you went with Stephen Fry, right, we all know that he's like quite educated, he's funny, he's charming. I feel like I would immediately be like, Stephen's a traitor.
Yeah, well, I think but here's the other thing that I wonder whether we're going to have this problem. Obviously, with the normal people, who go in, the non-celebrities.
Yeah.
It's always the smartest people who get voted out.
Oh, no, it's really annoying in the format. Yeah, it's really frustrating.
But that is a kind of issue with the game. But I wonder whether that is going to happen in the celebrity version. And I wonder whether it's going to be like, because these celebs, they, probably bump into each other at various award shows and various different things. They kind of probably know each other vicariously or, on the periphery.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be any like alliances that form based on who they've met outside of the show as opposed to who they are within the show.
Yeah, it's definitely really interesting. How many moments will it be like, is Alan all right, do you think?
Yeah.
Is that Alan's being a bit weird, isn't he?
I know, because they're going to they've got this preconceived notion of who this person is.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see. And also, is the most famous person going to be automatically the coolest person? Like you look at the way the jungle works.
Yeah.
Right? The jungle is like, oh my gosh, we've got somebody super uber famous who's coming in.
Yeah.
They automatically
people
kind
like
of
flock
to
around
them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you going to, I don't really think there's anybody, but there are definitely like tiers of who's what
of course
on the
there
list.
are. Yeah.
But I wonder who is going to be that sort of big, bold character. Like I can kind of see Jonathan Ross.
Totally. I can see
one of them.
being quite commanding.
I can see Stephen Fry being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can also see Alan Carr being one of them.
I just think Alan Carr...
Because he's probably met all of them.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because he has his chat show. I mean, same with Jonathan Ross, right? He's probably talked and interviewed all of them. So if anything, actually, I guess Alan and Jonathan are going into this being like, well,
with the upper hand.
Yeah, I know most of these people.
Oh, it's just, it's really exciting. I'm really excited. I'm so interested.
But I think that's a really good point you've raised about the format, because it's like, are these people going to play characters? Are they going to play themselves? But then everyone has these sort of preconceived notions of who they are.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
I think if they don't play who they are on the outside in the game, instantly they're going to be voted off, because people are going to be like, why are you different to what I know you are on the screen? Even if in reality, you think about how talent might be one thing, super confident on screen, but when you meet them in person, they're a completely different type of person.
Totally.
And that's just because they turn it on for the cameras.
Of course, yeah.
I think if they don't turn it on for the cameras in the show, they're going to be voted out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Back to a couple of questions I had to you around that.
Yes.
So who do you think would be a more convincing liar, Stephen Fry or Alan Carr?
Stephen Fry, I think, would be a more convincing. I don't actually, within the context of the game, I'd be instantly suspicious of Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
Instantly suspicious. Probably less suspicious of Alan Carr.
I feel like you just look at Alan and say, are you a traitor?
I know, but I know exactly. But I know that Stephen Fry could outsmart me in a heartbeat. He's probably got more brains in his pinky than I've got in my entire body. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm going to be suspicious of you because you're obviously playing chess when I'm playing checkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair.
But Alan Carr, I'm like, no, I feel like we could probably maybe be on the same playing field, because I feel like he's just a bit more, just jokey and like lighthearted.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then he could completely surprise me and turn around and end up being like, the sort of mastermind behind it all.
Yeah, like I feel like if he approaches it, because he's clearly he's a comedian as well, right? So he's confident, he knows how to read a room.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
The other element of it, which I think he could be a bit of a dark horse, because if he got selected to be a traitor, I feel like he'd just befriend everyone and everyone would be like, well, obviously it's not Alan. It can't be Alan.
Yeah.
Like, he's so lovely. But then also, how could it be Alan?
But then also you'd be suspicious of people who are overly nice as well, or overly friendly or overly confident. Gosh, there's just
it's one of those, isn't it? The further you get into it, you just, you start to just look at everyone. Okay, I have another one for you.
Yeah.
So which celebrity will crack under the pressure first? So I've got two options here: Alan Carr or Joe Wilkinson. Yeah, if she was like, I don't want to do this show anymore, it's too much, I am the traitor. Yes, right, home time, goodbye.
Okay, sorry, who were the people?
Alan Carr or Joe Wilkinson?
Joe Wilkinson.
Yeah, I think
Joe
he would.
Wilkinson. I know he's very deadpan and very straight narrowed in his comedy. Well, not straight and narrow.
No, but he's very deadpan.
Very deadpan in his comedy, but I think that's also because he's in control.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you put him in a scenario where he is not in control and he's just going to find everything funny.
He will, yeah.
Alan Carr, I feel like, can kind of roll with the punches maybe slightly more.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why, but I think they're equally not going to be great.
They're equally, because they're both comedians, so it's like who laughs first, last one laughing.
Exactly.
And finally, if you were a traitor in the Celebrity Traitors, who would you recruit?
The non-celebrity.
Yeah,
in the Celebrity Traitors.
The non-celebrity. No, you can be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Who would
this podcast is doing so well, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Who would you recruit? So you've got Kat Burns, Tom Daley, or Nick Mohammed.
Oh, who would I recruit? I think Nick Mohammed, probably, because I just feel like he is one of those people who can fly under the radar, but also just come out with your zinger one-liners that makes you like him.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
He is a comedian as well, yeah.
It's one of those things where but I feel like he's very personable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he's somebody who, personality-wise, at least the version that I'm seeing, the PR version that I'm seeing on the outskirts, I don't know. Tom Daley could be...
He could be good because he's used to being in highly pressurized environments. He's
I
used to
didn't
being
think about
very
that.
focused, like Olympian, millions of people watching him. Like he's
Yeah,
used
that's
to that.
a really good point, actually. I
So
didn't
could
think
he
about
actually
that.
be a really good traitor? Very focused.
But sports pressure is very different to personality pressure.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I actually think the people who are more actors, I think will have the upper hand here.
Yeah.
And celebrities because they're actors, because they are more used to personality pressure.
Absolutely. And sort of like disconnecting their personality to the character they're playing.
Exactly. Tom Daley, brilliant as he is always Tom Daley.
Of course.
You know what I mean? He's not
Yeah.
he's not somebody else.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the other, so I think that might, I don't know, we'll see. Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, we've got that coming, so very exciting.
Indeed.
Now, next subject, which we both have watched the first episode.
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly. So after 20 years of waiting, The Real Housewives of London has landed on our screens. Come on.
It's so good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it immediately because I just loved it. Well, we both did, didn't we?
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's literally
loved it.
everything you want from Real Housewives. It's
Yeah.
just like glamorous, ridiculous,
Yeah.
like fun, eccentric,
Yeah.
ridiculous
Playfully
amount of
rich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much money, more money than sense.
Yeah.
And it's just so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the cast includes, we've got Juliet Agnes, Amanda Cronin, Karen Lodrick Pierce, Juliet Mayhew, Panthea Parker, and Nessie Welshinger. Now, it's been reviewed really well by The Guardian, and they've praised it for its playfully chaotic celebration of wealth.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is.
But to kick off the drama, so it started off just sort of like a docu-series first episode, just nice, introducing the housewives. However, towards the end, we got Teethgate.
Yeah. Yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers,
by the way.
yeah. Now's your time to tune
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
Teethgate.
Teethgate.
Okay, so we both know. So basically, Amanda is hosting a party.
But I'm not going to lie. Also, before we get
Okay.
into this, I do love that this is the problem.
This is
like,
the
it's
issue. Yeah.
so ridiculous that
Yeah.
only the Real Housewives of London could get away with this. Only the Real Housewives franchise would get away with this, because anybody else, you'd put this in and you'd be like, you're so out of touch.
Yeah.
But these women, you're like, you're already so out of touch.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, and I kind of love how ridiculous it is.
But I think that Guardian article summed it up really well. A playfully chaotic celebration of wealth. It's
Yeah.
like otherworldly. It's
Yeah.
like Teethgate. This
Yeah.
is what we're complaining about. My son's dentist. That's what we're kicking off about. I'm
no,
falling
it
out
was-
with you about this.
It was my son's dentist,
Yeah.
instead of gluing the brace back on, decided to do 8 fillings,
8 fillings.
in my son's teeth.
Exactly.
I mean, why 8 fillings? Can
Yeah.
we just...
I mean, that's quite a
That's
lot.
quite
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
quite a
Have
lot.
you ever brought your son to the dentist? But, anyways, but 8 fillings. And then she goes, but I didn't want the 8 fillings. I wanted, like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that
this
I'm
is
even
where
talking
we're
about
at.
this.
This is where we're
But
at.
I didn't want the 8 fillings done. I wanted the brace glued back on. And then her friend, or this other housewife,
It's Juliet. Juliet. Yeah,
took
the Aussie one.
Took the dentist's side.
Yeah, took the dentist's side, basically.
I was like, well, you needed the fillings.
yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But they're just like, yeah,
But
but why
Panthea
would
didn't
you?
like that.
But why would you? Oh,
She
honestly.
didn't like that. She didn't like, and it all, because the thing is, it's all very calm, and Amanda's hosting this lovely International Women's Day party. But then Panthea and Juliet hug, and Juliet says, "You look beautiful," to Panthea, and then Panthea replies, "You don't need to be too fake. It's fine."
So
And there we go.
Good.
There we have it. The first drama of The Real Housewives kicks off, and yeah, like you say, it's all because the son had fillings, and Juliet sides with the dentist.
I know, but you know what? Besides the actual drama, I think what makes it so funny is like you open up and the first thing you're seeing is like, these women in these like ridiculous outfits in these opulent places. But then like as it does with the Real Housewives series, they have these, introductions about who they are, and they say a one-liner
Yeah.
about who they are. And these one-liners just get more and more absurd. And I think that's what makes this so good, is that we can look at it and go like, these women are insane.
Yeah, they are just
like,
so, yeah.
They're not relatable in any way, shape or form.
No.
And they are just ridiculous. But that's also why I love it.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. It's like they're so otherworldly.
Yeah.
It's like the issues that they're talking about. I just can't. I can never compare my life to that.
Exactly. It's it's not even aspirational viewing. It's escapist viewing. It's just
exactly.
like, it's like
Exactly.
honestly like watching fiction.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel rooted in any sort of reality, which is what makes it great. great.
I think that's what makes it really interesting, because it takes that documentary format but makes it a soap.
Yeah.
It's a soap. So from our perspective, it is completely fictionalized, even though it isn't, but it could be. I mean, it's like when Panthea was like, well, Juliet just borrows dresses.
Yeah.
I mean, who borrows dresses? Yeah, because she's wearing that dress to go to the BAFTAs, and she's like, I did it for my friend's company so that I could post a picture wearing a dress that she made. And Panthea's like, why would you do that? You just buy your own. Ridiculous. This is the type of drama that the Real Housewives is serving up, but it is fabulous.
Yeah, you should watch it if you have any time, and it's on Hey You. And episode 1 is just landed. Episode 2 will be coming out. But anyways, going from escapism, aspirational, let's move swiftly into Love Island.
Oh, here we go.
Now, Love Island has been going for a while, right? And I think arguably the biggest Love Islander is Molly May.
Yeah, definitely.
She is definitely the one who's sort of reached heights and then just kept going. Absolutely. But lately, I've felt that Love Island hasn't necessarily captured my attention in the same way that Molly May's Love Island years did. Except this year.
Until now,
when the Tony, Shakira and Yasmin ID magazine spread dropped, I literally was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It automatically made Love Island cool again.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Me. I feel like it's gone from, because you think about Love Island, right? It's this glossy, polished, commercial, curated, you've got the Love Island villas, which Airbnbs are now doing. And you've got the look, and it's always the tan skin, the blonde hair, the very perfect look.
Yeah, of course.
Right. That's Love Island.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's been great. That has worked for them. But then this magazine spread is the total opposite of that.
Of course, yeah.
It's gritty.
Yeah.
It's sort of cool. It's grungy. It almost feels like 90s, supermodel kind of vibes, but like
Nirvana.
Yeah. Like so
edgy.
So anti what the Love Island look is.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why it's been so cool and why it's worked so well. Like this has been such a unique shift for Love Islanders, and to be placed with ID magazine, which is a fashion brand, as opposed to someone like Boohoo or PLT or those kinds of things, which is the usual, Love Island sort of funnel. You go and do a brand deal with one of these fast fashion houses. For them to go and do a spread with ID magazine, it's like, oh, they're getting cultural legitimacy of being like it girls, but in a cool fashion way, not in a commercial poppy way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not in like an overly glamorized way. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like it was giving like Skins.
Yeah.
It was giving, almost All Saints, like girl band vibes, but in a cool, like not anything that we've seen lately.
Yeah.
Which I think is what made it so interesting.
I had like
you keep saying Charlie XCX.
I just saw the spread and I was like, they just give me that Charlie XCX vibe. Like, it's not about the super polished superstar look anymore. It's about like, how edgy am I? You know what I mean? It's that Nirvana, like you said. It's just so refreshing to see.
Yeah, exactly. It sort of reframes them, and I feel like coming out of Love Island as well. You can definitely get lumped into that sort of commercial, perfect, curated Instagram thing, but that's not really working anymore. You think about, how TikTok demands authenticity, and like that messy cool is very like, it's very big, much in. Is in at the moment. So this framing of the Love Islanders, I'm like, oh my God, brilliant.
This is what we needed.
Genius move on behalf of that team who did that.
Genius marketing move.
Oh yeah. And then also to frame it in a way where it's about friendship.
That's what I loved about it. 3 women.
Yeah.
It's about friendship. Yeah. It's like, I can't remember specifically what it said, but it's like, it's the friends we make throughout the journey in the Love Island villa. And I'm like, that again, so refreshing.
Yeah.
So such a unique story, which I personally love.
Well, because I think you think about it, like Love Island sells romance, right? Like that's the show. That's what the show is about. So for them to come out and be like, it's about the friends. I'm like, oh, genius. You combine that with like the friendship, which now feels authentic, with like the gritty, like sort of grungy 90s cool vibes. It's like hit the nail on the head. These girls are going to be superstars.
It feels like It feels like they've really listened to their audience.
It feels like they've rebranded Love Island and made it cool.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, we didn't watch that season of Love Island. I'm now like, I want to go watch that season of Love Island.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to watch it. It's made me want to go back and like understand all of those girls. And just from one photo on Instagram it's made me do that. I'm like, oh, genius. You guys, you genius people who did that, who put that together for them. Because I mean, do you feel like Love Island's cool again?
I do, yeah. I do. I mean, like,
that it was never not really cool, but now it's like really cool.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things, isn't it, with like formats of those type of shows, you know, like they've been going for such a long time that sometimes they need a bit of a rebrand. Yeah. You know, they need a bit of a makeover. Yeah. And this feels like a really, really good one for Love Island. Yeah,
it just feels like I haven't seen anybody come out of Love Island and be quite as breakout as Molly May since Molly May.
No.
And it feels like these girls could do that.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm like, I didn't even watch the season and I'm now invested in the three of them.
And going back and doing it.
You know, like that's exactly what marketing should do. That's exactly what these kinds of things should do. That's exactly what PR should do.
Exactly.
They've just done a brilliant job of it. So we had to talk about that because it's literally everywhere and we loved it.
Go have a look at it if you haven't seen it because it's really awesome.
Yeah, and go watch the show. I'm sure it's great.
As will we.
As will we. Exactly. We're going to go back and stream all that. Anyways, moving on swiftly to the Rotten Tomatoes game.
Come on.
Which is reality show vibes.
I knew it was going to be. I mean, how could it not be reality show vibes?
Exactly. So for those of you who don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes game is, it is basically where I have a list of films and I go through and I say those films. Rory then guesses what the critics' score is and what the audience score is on Rotten Tomatoes. I tell him if he's right or if he's wrong. We talk about the film and then we move on to the next one. That's pretty much the game. Rory never gets anything right. Well, kind of. I feel like I say this every week, but he mostly doesn't get things right. So last week he got 1 out of 8. So let's see if he can beat that. Anyways, the first one for today is Clueless.
Oh, that's a good film.
I know.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Clueless. I'm going to go for an audience score of 90%. And a critic score of 93.
Okay. Critically, it got 82%.
Well, that's just not okay.
Audience score, it got 76%.
Oh, why do I think that did really well?
I know.
I just think it's one of those things that's like cult almost now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's not culty, but it's,
No. But as in like, it's got such a fandom, you know?
Yeah.
That I'm just like people dress up as those girls for Halloween and stuff. I'm like, oh, how could it not have done better? But I think it deserved better. Yeah, no, it was good. Anyways, next one is Legally Blonde. Now we're talking. Here we go. Legally Blonde. Audience score 80%. Critically 72. Oh my goodness. Rory Nichols. Critically, it got 72%. Audience score was 72%. Ring the bell. So he's got his 1 point out of 8. Yep, there we go. But that's the victory. There we go. That's all I needed. Legally Blonde. Legally winning. Well, yeah. Next one. 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, that's a good film. It is a good film. That's a good film. Heath, miss you. I'm going to go for an audience score of 86% and a critic score of 88%. Okay, critically 71%. Audience score 69. Wow. Yeah, people really didn't like this film. Wow. I really liked this film. Yeah, I know. I think maybe it's because of when it came out and we were of the right age to watch it. But that's what I mean. I feel like most of these is like aspirational and cool. Like, it's like my nostalgia. I'm like, no, it must have been great, but that's probably just me. The effect it had on me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next one, Wild Child. Wild Child. Audience score 70%. Critically 68. Okay, so this one, audience score was 62%. Critically 40. 40. Yeah. I think that's the lowest one you've ever done. Yeah, I think it actually is. Like the films you pick for this game, they're normally relatively high up on the list. I was actually quite surprised when I saw, because if we saw a film and we were like, oh, it's got 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, probably watch it. Not worth a watch. Yeah. I liked Wild Child, but for what it was, I thought it was quite a good little film. But clearly not. Clearly not.
Clearly not.
You just were a fan of it. You were in the 40%. That's the thing. That's the difference.
I did enjoy it. I don't know. I think it's one of those things, isn't it, where it was of its time. You know, think of Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, for example.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that one's got great Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
No.
I mean, I can't imagine Dave, next door, who's in his 50s, loves that show.
I don't think it was made for Dave.
No.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? So
it's also one of those things where you watched it at the right age. So you were saying right age, right time. You were like, I really like this movie, but I guarantee you could go back now and be like, there are a lot of flaws in it, though.
Yeah, and I also think critics tend to favour films that are, highbrow.
Of course.
And Wild Child is not quite highbrow, but that doesn't mean it's not good. It's like the Oscars that has a problem with giving comedy its props.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah. God, it's like we talk on a podcast every week. It's like we just talk about
this
film, TV, and entertainment from an insider's perspective. On that note, anyway.
Yes. On that note, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for listening. We hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, please do like, subscribe, leave us a comment. If you're watching, if you are listening, please do leave a review. It does help other people find us, and we always love hearing from you guys. Anyways, we put these out every week, so we will be back next week. Thank you very much for being here, and we will see you then.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.